Welcome to Elevate Springfield, where we will dive into strategies and stories that help you rise to your full potential. Each episode, we'll talk about how you can take intentional steps to elevate your life and your business while making a meaningful impact on those around you. Along the way, we're going to bring in the change makers from our community that are already elevating. We'll bring the actionable strategies, you bring the discipline and follow through, and together we can elevate Springfield.
All right, let's go, Springfield. Time to 10X, time to level up. Hey, you are listening to the Elevate Springfield podcast, coming to you from the Big Dog Construction Studio in beautiful downtown Springfield. Robert Ferriell here, certified 10X coach, speaker, and mentor, here to bring you actionable strategies. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together we're going to elevate Springfield. Well, hey, you are listening to the Wellness Upgrade on Elevate Springfield, where we're going to bring you specific strategies to help elevate your health and wellness. Hey, if you're not elevating your health and wellness, you're not going to be able to elevate in all other areas. This is the baseline. You know I'm passionate about it, and you know that's why I brought this segment to Elevate Springfield. We want to thank our friends over at Shudokan Karate Club here in Springfield. Sensei Dennis and his team, over 50 years in the Springfield area. Traditional karate, teaching self-discipline, confidence, community. Traditional, powerful, real. That's Shudokan Karate Club here in Springfield. Check them out. ShudokanKarateSpringfield.com. We're going to get right to our guest after the break.
When I first walked into Shudokan Karate Club, I was just looking for a way to get stronger, but what I found was so much more. Here we train in traditional karate, the real stuff, passed down through generations. Every punch, every kata has purpose. I've learned self-discipline, confidence, and how to protect myself, not just in class, but in real life. It's not about being aggressive, it's about being prepared. This is more than a club, it's a way of life. Join us at Shudokan, traditional, powerful, real. Ki-ai!
All right, and we are back for another edition of the Wellness Upgrade, brought to you by Shudokan Karate Club. Over 50 years of confidence building, community building, self-defense. Hey, if you or anybody in your family is interested in karate, give them a shout over at Shudokan Karate Club of Springfield. Today, you noticed him from before. He was with us probably about a month ago on the podcast. Mr. Brennan Malham from Malham Health Maximization. Brennan, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a beautiful morning, man.
It is gorgeous. Beautiful downtown Springfield here. Good to have you and appreciate you coming by. I know on the last podcast, we started digging into biohacking a little bit, right? So for those out there that don't know what that is, what is the term biohacking and what are we talking about there?
I think biohacking is using some modern tools, some past primal medicine, ancient medicine, just general tools that have been unique to humans and unique to the human experience to optimize our health. And I think biohacking has a catchy term. It's really catchy right now. It's a thing everyone uses. But honestly, what you're really trying to do is optimize your health in the most efficient way possible with the least downstream effects possible.
Absolutely. So what are some of the basics of biohacking?
So the basics of biohacking, I would say, start with just the daily things you do, the daily things you introduce to your body. And those have the most power, honestly, because they're repeated over and over and over till your body becomes this general, what I call a personality color. You have a generalized color of who you are. And honestly, if you think about the most optimal version of yourself, whatever color that is, you can make that brighter. You can turn up the contrast with certain tools. That's biohacking. Now, you can also dilute those tools by falling prey to modern life, not socializing, missing certain things. And I think those certain things that we miss really dilute us more than the optimization. So first and foremost, if you're trying to biohack, you need to get to baseline optimal from just the natural things. Don't even introduce anything that's outside the natural because it's not necessary. A underlying tone of just good health from optimal strategies and habits is going to have the biggest biohacking bang for your buck. Before we start looking at red light therapy and cold plunges and everything, we need to start talking about protein, about micronutrients, about sunlight, about like mindset.
Yeah, because once you have to have that baseline taken care of first. Then you can start. I always take it to like a sculpture. You know, when you're first starting, you know, you could use a jackhammer and just get everything off that you want to, but until you're in a certain condition, those little things, those chisels, those biohacking tools that are a little more advanced come into play. But early on, it's let's get the basic things done first. Right?
Exactly. Knock those big things off. That's your checklist first. You always have to get the boulders. Don't step over dollars and pick up pennies by saying like, oh, you know what? I am going to focus on just hydrating my water. That's cool. That's good. Right. That's good stuff. But maybe we need to focus on drinking enough water.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Let's get that down first.
Get that part down.
Right. So you talked about protein, micronutrients. What are some of the just basics of nutrition if people are just starting out?
So basics of nutrition, and honestly, this is something I work from. So I work with young kids with coaching, and even my own son. We like hammer home like he is the biggest example of like biohacking. Like I want to introduce a habit that's easy without him even knowing it, so his life becomes that. So one of the foundational pieces, every time we eat, we have a protein and a plant. You have a snack, it's a protein or a plant. If you're eating, protein or plant. And that's such an easy mindset to have that shapes a good nutrition, like a plate. Like you think about it in the morning, I need a protein. So eggs, egg whites. You could do salmon lox if you want to be fancy. Turkey bacon, certain protein choices. Greek yogurt is another foundational piece. Like you can add in, there's your protein, and you add a plant. You could have berries, you could have banana, you could add chopped broccoli into your eggs, but we always incorporate those. And then from there, you can expand. If you want to be a little bit fancy, you need more calories, you can do oats. You can do the things, but always starting with the concept of a protein and a plant on a plate or for a snack, one of the two, is going to win every nutritional battle you're seeking. Like that's going to make you successful alone.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah. So when it comes to like total caloric intake, somebody's looking to lose weight, how much of a caloric deficit are you looking for them to have?
So caloric deficit is an interesting concept. So I think if people are trying to lose weight, the easiest tool we think about is macronutrients, right? Calories, protein, carbs, fats. And that's a lever you can pull. That's the how much, like track. So basically, if we're trying to lose fat, there's three levers we can pull. We can pull the how much, that's tracking your calories. That's noticing the amount. You're in a deficit by creating something. There is the when, that's intermittent fasting, time restricted eating. And the what, that's paleo, that's Atkins diet, the choices of the foods. Oftentimes, the best results come from just creating caloric deficit. And whatever strategy you use of those three will create a caloric deficit. Typically, a good strategy, if you're trying to stay motivated and focused, is approximately like 250 to 500 calories per day you're in a deficit. So a person like yourself probably works out, 5 times a week, 6 times a week?
Every day.
Every day, 7 days a week. So realistically, any cardio or just lifting?
Cardio every day, lifting 6 days a week.
Lifting 6 days a week, cardio 6 days a week. Okay, so realistically, you're probably around probably a 3,400 to 3,800, maybe, if we really like are highly metabolically optimized. So realistically for you, we need to take that down to 3,000 calories just to create a deficit, but still maintain. We want it to be easy. If you start to make it suck too early, it's hard. Now, some people need that motivation. They need to see that weight come off. So you can make it suck early and then reverse pyramid up to a maintenance level. So they see 10 pounds drop really quickly, and then it starts to taper back up to like, I don't know, they see maybe a pound, like you lose a pound every week for an example, and then they start to taper up to a half pound every week. Well, that's okay. But always having recognition that some people need more motivation from the weight going down, but you can create a caloric deficit from any of those tools we just talked about, the 3 discussions. So the how much would be, I'm going to track my calories. I'm going to pull down certain amounts of food. Typically, I recommend not pulling down your protein. We're trying to hit a baseline protein for anybody, any human adult. I like the goal. It's very simple. It's round. It's not perfect, but the pound per optimal pound of body weight.
Right.
So for me, I like to weigh around 185 pounds. So 185 grams of protein is great. Now, sometimes there's some data that's very fascinating that when you're going into a caloric deficit, you're trying to lose more body fat. A good maintenance tool will be to take your protein up to about 1.1. So for me, I like to move that needle up a little bit, and I honestly feel better. I feel more satiated, and I find it easy to lose fat when I'm in a fat loss phase because my protein is a high satiation food. It's going to make you feel full. A lot of times there's a fascinating nutritional concept called the protein leverage hypothesis. Have you ever heard of this?
I've not heard that, no.
Protein leverage hypothesis states that when you consume adequate protein in a day, you significantly decrease your appetite. So that feeling of, and there's a threshold for this too. So if you don't hit it, you are hungry. You're ghrelin, the chemicals in your body that make you more hungry are increased. So if you don't hit that protein threshold at the end of the night, what are you doing? Fridge. Hang out with the kids a little bit. Fridge again.
Right.
Cupboard. What's in there? Do we have dark chocolate? Do we have some more peanuts, cashews? Or maybe we're getting a little bit crazy. Or maybe we have a fed chocolate or something like that.
There you go.
But you keep going back to it because you haven't hit that threshold for protein. But if you, and this is a cool experiment, I challenge people to try it 3 days in a row. Hit your protein threshold and try to do it by dinner time. So protein threshold, for me, I try to get about 50 grams of protein with breakfast, lunch, and dinner if I'm doing 3 meals a day. And then I'm going to be supplementing with a protein shake and most likely 2 Greek yogurts throughout the day. So that helps me hit my threshold pretty easily. But if I'm in a fat loss phase, I maybe increase my protein portions to 60 grams with each meal. And that looks like maybe, I don't know, an ounce of meat. That's really not that much, but it makes a difference. It actually be a little bit less, but it will make a substantial difference in hunger. So try that. Try it this week. 3 days hitting your protein needs and notice where your hunger is in the evening time. It's substantially less. That's such an easy tool. And no one realizes they're just protein deficient. Maybe they dehydrate a little bit too. When they're early, just freaking looking for those. They think they have these cravings, but they don't. Their body's just giving a signal and they don't know how to interpret it.
So what's your recommendation on protein sources? So you gave some of the ones that you give, but what are some high quality sources that people could go get?
I am a huge fan of 2 things. I think 2 things are Mother Nature's multivitamin. She gives it to us in plenty. God gives it to us in plenty, I should say. But it's eggs and red meat. And I know red meat has a stipulation with cholesterol. So realistically, you can when they do these red meat studies, by the way, they're not like quantifying how much fat is in these red meats, or if it's grass fed, which has a different a different distribution of the omega-3s. Like it's night and day difference. So I like anything that's fatty content meat, like eggs or salmon or beef. I think it's good a choice because typically fat tissue stores more of the toxic chemicals we're trying to avoid. I think it's a good choice to source those from like grass-fed, pasture-fed instead of any kind of other thing. But if you can't, even just getting red meat is good. Like that's a degree of better, but still good is hitting the red meat source, I think daily or at least 5 times a week. And then making sure you get eggs. Now, salmon's also a good choice if you're looking for another fatty cut of meat. I don't have a palate for salmon that much. I don't enjoy it, but those are good choices. And then I always think eggs in the morning is a good choice. Whether you need 5 or you need 2, if you're in like a fat loss phase and mixing it with egg whites, I still think you should have an egg in the morning. I think it is a foundational piece that will make significant difference in people's lives. Just not even from the protein aspect, it has choline. So a choline is a precursor to acetylcholine, which our brain uses to help us think better and to form better thoughts and have better control in our actions in our day. So you're literally starting your day with a food supplement, a food that supplements a tool that most people probably need because they have decreased ability for cognitive function. We're getting brain fog more and more because of the outside environment. So it's an easy tool there. Red meat, obviously, super high in nutrient density, zinc, carnitine, creatine content. Even if you're supplementing creatine, it's been shown to have a entourage effect. So it benefits the use of a supplement called creatine, which has been shown to have but it's one of the best tools we have now for Alzheimer's. If you look at some of the current literature on it, it helps with muscle growth, it helps with fat loss, it helps with cognitive function, your ability to think and act on your tools. So
there's been so much research on creatine over the years.
We'll come back to that one.
I like that one a lot.
But the red meat too is just a simple tool. And then finding other sources I find one time a day, I'm looking for a meat source that's leaner. So it could be ground turkey, it could be chicken breast, it could be tuna, or it could be a dairy-based one. I find Greek yogurt's an awesome tool for that too with minimal things. So I think one of those tools is always good. So I'm thinking a red meat source, an egg, and a white meat source. That is a foundational structure for how I view my meals in a day.
That's pretty much exactly what I do. I eat eggs in the morning. I typically have chicken for lunch in my salad, and then I typically have some red meat at dinner. And it's normally either, I like bison a lot, so I eat bison a lot, or beef, of course. And here recently, from the West Side Market, I've been getting the beefalo.
Beefalo is awesome.
So I've been eating a lot of that lately.
It's pretty damn simple to do that, and you feel pretty darn good, right? Simple tools, right?
No doubt about it.
Simple tool to be simple, effective.
What are your thoughts on like protein supplementation in terms of shakes and stuff?
I think it's better to do from food because food carries more nutrient density, micronutrient density. It carries more things that we probably need. But I think it's more important to hit your protein consistently. Now, I always have a rule. I'm going to do one like Franken food protein supplement. If that's a protein shake, that's okay. I incorporate nearly a protein shake every day, and I find that to be a tool. And honestly, I find it to be one of the best tools to kind of curb that sweet tooth at the night and help me hit my protein threshold, protein leverage hypothesis. Hitting that again. I find it really fun to have like a Nuri protein shake or make a Ninja Creamy with the Nuri protein shake or a Ferriell protein shake or take Greek yogurt at the end of the night and I'll make a protein yogurt where I'll mix in. We have literally like 5 different protein powders just with different flavors. It's my flavoring to the Greek yogurt, and we do vanilla Greek yogurt, and then you can mix things into it. But it's an easy way to hit that sweet tooth and actually enjoy things. Now, it's not the same as a Snickers bar, Like some people think it's supposed to be, but we have so much buildup of tolerance to flavor profiles. Our taste buds are muted to some degree. We are living with taste buds that expect this big flavorful rush, and that's good. With our other business, Fed Kitchen, like I know my wife really focuses on bringing flavor to the thing, and it makes eating healthy fun. But even then, we still need to tolerate, like tone down what we expect from our taste buds so we can start to notice the subtle flavors. I think that so many people don't enjoy the taste of coffee because they enjoy the taste of sugar.
Exactly.
And that's okay, but you should know what you're doing, like, and what you're seeking with that.
Now you mentioned that the Ninja, the creamy, we use that a lot too.
Phenomenal, right?
The thing's awesome, isn't it?
Makes it easy to be healthy. It's just and it makes, what's another thing? It takes a little bit of work to make it.
It is.
Taking work to make something sweet is important. Like if you think about in like our ancestral history, anything that was sweet took a long time to make. Like he's one of the best examples. You had to climb a tree. You had to get the honey. You had to get stung by the bees and climb down the tree again without falling, and then give it to your people that you shared it with. Like that is a complex way to get this sugar. Like I think if you want to remove a barrier for a lot of people, another cool little, I'm a big fan of with our health coaching company, finding a habit that fits a person. So the protein leverage, whey protein at the end of the night is a great tool for some people. The Ninja Cream is a great tool for some people. But for some people, I had the habit of, you have to make it yourself. So if they're having this constant sweet tooth where they have like Oreo cookies or ding dongs or Twinkies, now some people have that discipline where they can just say no, but some people don't. So what I say is, okay, you have to make chocolate chip cookies at home. And just like, cool. And they might do it twice in a week. Cool. But next week they'll probably do it once.
Right.
And the week after that, maybe they skipped it because like, oh, it's that little bit extra work. And you also build up that tolerance. Like, I know I'm expecting this. So it really does help a little bit to like use tools in your toolbox to get these things.
No doubt about it. Yeah, that creamy. And we put some blueberries and some coconut yogurt and then maybe a little bit of banana. And there you go. That's a quote unquote dessert for me right there.
You are big fans of cacao nib. I don't know if
I do that too, actually. Yep. I put that in there as well. Yep.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Always have a bag of those in my cabinet. Awesome. So a couple more of the basics. We've got nutrition. The other couple of basics that if people are starting out, hey, sleep and exercise.
Yeah. So I have 4 pillars, I think, of health. So we have the nutrition pillar, and think of the pillars as the things that hold your health up overall. Nutrition pillar, we have our movement pillar. That's exercise, walking, just general movement. Then we have sleep hygiene. So total sleep hygiene. And then finally we have habit and lifestyle. So exercise and movement's pretty simple. Like you need to be trying to hit each muscle group once or twice a week, at least for most people. Like trying to hit, I would say at least twice a week. So I call it the busy adult program. For parents, we write workout programs that are simple. Some people can only find 20 minutes to 30 minutes. And as you build up discipline, they can get better and better, but are bigger and badder with their workouts and have more. But initially I plan we're going to do 2 or 3 days a week. We're going to hit a major muscle group 2 or 3 times. So every major muscle group. So I'm going to have a couple pressing movements, whether that's a horizontal or vertical. I'm going to have some kind of pulling movement off the ground. I'm going to have some kind of lunging. I've really quickly become fascinated with when I change programming for people, I make them do mostly a lot more unilateral work instead of back squatting or anything like that. People get sore and hip pain. And if you think about how our body's made to move with our exercise and movement patterns, we are unilateral movers. When's the last time you like squatted something up, feet square, toes turned out, hips turned out?
Yeah, not often.
Picked it up on a lunge, picked it up slightly bent over. And same thing, if I gave you 2 baseballs, would you know how to throw it? If I gave you 2 in each hand, you have to throw them at the same time.
Have to throw them at the same time?
Yeah.
Well, that'd be a little
weird. It was
weird.
weird, right? But if I gave you 1, you got it.
Right.
We are unilateral movers as humans. Our bodies are functionally better in those patterns, and we should strengthen those patterns. So split squat's a much better tool for a lot of people. Reverse lunging if you have knee pain. Even deadlifts. Like I think a deadlift, sometimes you would get square. That's in our history. So I think squaring up the lower back and everything. But I'm a big fan of like a single leg split squat deadlift, like hinge, almost a kickstand RDL, so to say. It would be close to. I think that's beneficial for our like joint structure or longevity, how we move, to focus on those patterns much more than the bilateral patterns. So there's the strength training portion of it. I think it's important to have a baseline of cardiovascular health. So some kind of low level cardio, whether that's running or elliptical, or honestly, make cardio fun again. I swear people don't understand how easy it can be. Like if you have kids, you got things that want to make you do cardio. Go out there, play with them. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging because it's not enough movement with them, put on a weighted vest.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
One of the ways I do cardio each week is I will go out with my kids and coach, and I'll make sure I'm running. Because they model what I'm doing, and I know they do. And honestly, we'll come back to the modeling in a second with behavior and everything, but they see you moving and you have an opportunity to move. And we know we should be doing cardio. It doesn't have to be in the gym, like doing my elliptical. It could be, I'm going to play soccer and I'm actually build up a sweat, kicking the ball back and forth. My kids, I'm going to be the freaking cool dad that's moving. And then my kid gets better because I'm moving more. It's not just me sitting goalie, boom.
Right.
Like I'm using cardio. So make cardio fun again. And then just move every day. We are made to move. So walking is such a freaking easy tool. Like parking further away, making yourself always take the stairs, finding ways to get up every 5 to 10 minutes. And honestly, sitting is smoking anyway. We know that having a sitting for longer than 6 hours at a time or in a day, 6 hours in a day, that's not up and down sometimes. That's 6 hours in a day is tied with decreased health and longevity. Now you can counteract that with exercise, but once you get up to 10, you can't counteract it at all with exercise. And some people are saying way more than 10 hours a day.
That, yeah.
So I'm making a point. I'm going to fill my water bottle. I don't have a big water jug on purpose. I got a little cup and it's like 20 ounces. I make sure I got to go fill that thing up 4 or 5 times in a day. I got to walk up the stairs at Orthopedic Center. I got to go do these things. Or if I'm on an off day at home, I'm going to I'm going to make sure I have to go fill it up. We're out with the kids. Well, dang it. I got to fill up my water. I'm sweaty and hot. So I'm making a point to have my water hit. I think that's an easy one to do. And I also make it a point to have my steps because the steps lead to that. So walking is foundational and it just does everything right. It greases these grooves out of our body and we get stiff and achy. And walking is a way to just gently grease the groove, make the body used to moving. It produces better synovial fluid. Just like if you kept a nut or bolt or anything tight and stuck, it would rust. Things must move to stay in a good, healthy alignment.
No doubt about it. And I like doing it after every meal too. Even if it's just a quick 10, 15 minutes.
Decrease the insulin bump a little bit, lower your blood sugar. That's an easy tool for fat loss too, because it is a nutrition partitioning agent. It tells the body where to put the things you want it to do. Simple tool there.
Absolutely. Well, final one, sleep. Touch on that a little bit.
Sleep hygiene is, so we'll probably talk about testosterone later. Everyone wants to take TRT. They want to do all these things. Well, TRT, like if you're taking a baseline layer, will probably increase your testosterone anywhere from like 20 to 30%. Sometimes it'll get higher depending on your dosage, but that's kind of what you're shooting for, at least initially. Just sleeping for like a longer period of time, getting at least 7 hours. It's not even 8 anymore for some people, 7 hours has been shown to increase your testosterone by 20 to 30%. 20 to 30%. It is literally the best drug we have in terms of biohacking. Like, that one is simple alone because you can do so many things to sleep like better too. Because everyone has this sleep on this big one axis. I need to be sleeping more hours, but that doesn't matter. Sleep has 4 components actually. Sleep has the component of quantity. So that's the 6 to 8 hours is what most people are seeking. A lot of people get less than that, but like quantity is a metric. It does have to do with sleep health, but then we have quality, and quality is more important actually.
Right.
So quality would be how deep you sleep. Are you getting through your sleep cycles? How long are you staying in this light, restless sleep versus getting into deep sleep? And I like to have a deep sleep goal of about an hour. I think it's a good sleep. Same thing with REM. And the more cycles I can get through, the better. So quality matters just as much. And quality can be controlled by a lot of outside factors that we can biohack.
Right.
So quality, for instance, you can get blue light blocking glasses, or preferably you don't even expose yourself to blue light within 3 hours of bedtime, or more, depending on if you're in like daylight savings time. In Illinois, I think it's best to match the natural rhythm of the sun, a circadian light fast, so to say. So I think it's best to match natural indoor lighting with when the sun's setting. And what is the setting right now? 6:30. So like that's tough for some people. Some people don't go to bed until 10. If I told you, hey, no lights, that's rough. So maybe we do incandescent light bulbs instead, or we turn our screens to red light. But that's a way to control quality. You can also control quality with supplementation. Apigenin, L-theanine, GABA precursors, all are supplements that will help your deep sleep quality. So you'll get into deep sleep and REM sleep better. And then L-theanine is uniquely interesting because it may help you sleep better. Same with zinc and magnesium, like magnesium glycinate.
Oh, yeah.
It helps you relax, which helps you, been shown to help you get into deep sleep and REM sleep better, which personally, when I take them, and I know it works because I have dreams. And normally I'm not a dreaming person. I wish I was, but I don't have them. But when I do take that, I will have like every third night, I will notice like, oh, I remember my sleep. That's interesting. So sleep hygiene is the other one. And then we have regularity and timing. So regularity is really fascinating. It shows that no matter what, if you had a rough night the night before, you stayed up late because your baby was crying all night, or you had an event and you had to go to a wedding or something like that, or you just have work the next day, or you just had a little late night shift. When you go to bed, you should try to be regular with that. That is important. Trying to be consistent with your bedtime, but just as important, trying to be consistent with your wake up time. So I have come to the opinion that I don't change when I wake up. I will try to stay within the same 60-minute window no matter what. And realistically, 30 would be better, but 60 gives you a little bit of flexibility with modern life. And there was a period when we were starting all these businesses and Malham Health maximization was taking off, and we were getting more and more clients, up to the point now where it's like we've been close to 100 before, like, and that's managing a person every day with a check-in call, talking to these people, talking about their life and where we can optimize. Like, I was like, when am I going to sleep? So I started, my sleep window started shrinking down, my quantity. And I'm a health coach and I'm thinking, man, my quantity of sleep's going down. I know better. What can I do? So I started really focusing on quality. And then I put in regularity too. I said, okay, I'm not going to sleep in on the days I don't have to wake up as early. I'm just going to wake up at like 3:30, 4 a.m. every single day. And it has been an amazing game changer. My body doesn't mind it anymore. Now there'll still will be that like that sleep momentum where I'm like, I'm a little tired, but when I get up, I'm ready. It's there, and it's not a negative thing. I think that's important for some people too. Like talking about sleep, it's how you wake up too. I think so many people don't think about that, but how you wake up will dictate a lot. So I think a lot of people, when are they most sad, the most anxious, the most depressed? When they're laying in bed in the morning, when they're laying in bed at night. I think it's very important when you first wake up to take an action. Get up and do something important, whether it's like get up and read, flood the mind with something positive, get up and walk, get up and work out before anybody gets to work, in my opinion. I find it has been a useful tool because it's really easy to say, I'm going to get up and work out. But even before then, maybe I'll cold plunge. Like starting in the wintertime, I will do that. And I'm ready to go after that. And I know I don't have that much time because
that'll get you going.
Cold plunge is interesting. We'll talk about that later. But cold plunge is interesting because it's like you have to build the momentum and want to do it, especially in the morning when you're first getting up. Most people don't just jump in and just like, I'm going to get my towel set up. Maybe I'll get a sip of water before I go, get my timer all set up too, make sure I'm ready to go. We find all these ways to resist just doing it. But I know if I have to do it first thing in the morning and I still have things on a timer after that, like I got to get a client's call done or a new program or something we're trying to work on for the business, well, I got to get in there. I have no time to mess around with it. So forcing the issue by making it easy, like moving some of the friction points is important there. So that's an important way of waking up. And then just mindset. I think mindset's probably the biggest other tool in the toolbox. Just like we talked about waking up every single morning, we wake up with these just a plethora, thousands of decisions. And I've thought about this before, and I think it's really interesting to think when you think of each decision as a bifurcation. Which way is it going to take me? Is it going to take me up towards the optimal person I want to be, or going to take me down a little bit? It really makes it, it gamifies it, at least for me. And it makes me think, is this taking me to the Brennan I want to be or the Brennan I don't want to be? And if you just think of it as a bifurcation, each decision is like, well, dang it, maybe I should be kind right here. Maybe I should, I know I got a little bit of work, but is it really going to hurt me to play with my kids when I say, hey, 5 minutes? Or do I really want that donut? Or maybe I should just have those eggs. Like everything's a bifurcation that takes us closer and closer or further and further with a decision. And if you're fine with being average, maybe you'll make a good one and then a bad one. But I find most people don't like when they start to think of it like that and they start to really think each decision goes up or down. Most people don't like losing inherently. Stacking wins, baby. Like
there you go.
That's the whole concept. We're stacking wins with the whole concept of getting healthier. Each decision's a win. And like I use this Scotch tape analogy. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before. So if you have a countertop, somebody puts a piece of Scotch tape on it, you probably won't ever see it. Right? Maybe someday, like, dang, who put that there? And that's one good decision. That's what one good decision looks like. It's a thin piece of Scotch tape that no one will ever notice. But then you put another one and another one and another one and another one and another one. Well, now maybe it's getting like it's a little thick.
It's a little thick.
But now if you 100 pieces, 100 good decisions, well, now it's a noticeable change. It's a notable change in my personality. It's a noticeable change in my wins in my body. Those decisions are what matters. You have to think of each decision as being thin, but matters still. You have to build those wins.
Love it. Well, we're going to end on that. I'm looking forward to getting in deep into the weeds with some of this stuff, man. I love biohacking, and I know you do too. So appreciate you spending some time with me today.
Fun, brother. It was fun, man.
Right. And where can people get a hold of you if they want to maybe do some work with you?
Malham Health Maximization. We're available online at malhamhealthmaximization.com. Come find us if you want to speak to us personally. But if you want to take your health optimization to the next level using nutrition, exercise, habit-based strategies around sleep, hygiene, supplementation, training, and even if you're looking for lab interpretation, we can guide you in the best way to optimize your health to make you the best form of yourself possible, whether your goal is weight loss, muscle gaining, health optimization, longevity, getting pregnant, you want to do a show, you're a sports performer, anything and everything we take on because we love the body and we love making it optimal.
There we go. Well, we're going to let Brennan get back to elevating Springfield, but for the rest of y'all, we'll be right back.
Custom Property Solutions transforms land and outdoor spaces throughout Central Illinois with precision and passion. From clearing overgrown brush to crafting stunning patios and fire pits. Need expert lawn care, excavation, or fence row clearing? They've got you covered, safely, efficiently, and on budget. Fully insured and satisfaction guaranteed. Visit CustomPropertySolutionsLLC.com today, where your land meets their passion.
Well, thank you for joining us today, everybody. Appreciate you making us a part of your day. Hope you're enjoying these quick hits of actionable strategies here on the Wellness Upgrade on Elevate Springfield. Thank you again to Shudokan Karate Club. Hey, take what you learned today. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together, that's right, y'all, we're going to elevate Springfield. Be great.
Looking for expert tree care with hometown integrity? Look no further than Sangamon Tree Service. They're your trusted local pros, delivering quality workmanship, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing every time. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, their team brings professionalism and care to every job, big or small. Call the name your neighbors trust, Sangamon Tree Service, or visit them today at sangamontreeservice.com. Sangamon Tree Service, rooted in quality, built on trust.